Hey everyone, and welcome back to the new season of Life at Leeds with me, GWFM. Last season, if you remember rightly, we finished 6th, we finished in the Europa Cup, so it's going to be an interesting avenue we can go down this season. But before we get into anything, we've got some big news, big transfer news, and before we've got a game today against Everton. So the first bit of news is the fact that we won the Premier League Manager of the Year. There it is in all its glory, following some really good names such as, Jose Mourinho, Claudio Ranieri, Arsene Wenger, to name a few. So yeah, it's a good accolade to have. I'm really pleased with it, I'll be honest with you. Got some sort of award as well, so that was fantastic in terms of a steam one. And not only that, we had the Young Player of the Year as well with Moussa Dembele. Yeah, about him. So, what's Moussa Dembele doing with a different colour, like, top border, if you like, if that's what you want to call it? Yeah, he's a dickhead. Basically, kicked off saying, "Oh, I want to play for Everton. You should let us go." And bear in mind, last season, as you're probably aware, I didn't have enough money to do anything. I couldn't offer a new contract. As it turns out, it's on 125 grand a week, which was on 57 hours. And I wanted to offer him a new contract at the end of the season because I knew when we finish in this position, we get all his money, we get all his transfer budgets, his wage budgets right at the end of the season. And literally about 3 games ago, as you remember, I dropped him. I think on the last game of the season, I think I tell you that one. I dropped him. I thought, right, let's do. I was trying to take a leaf out of Toby's book, Teach FM. He did it with Pogba. He was kicking off saying he wanted to move to Real Madrid, a bigger club or whatever. Well, we were finishing above Everton. Everton were like mid-table 10th, something like that, and we were finishing in like 5th or 6th at the time. And it's like, why would you want to miss out on European football and then want to go to Everton? And granted, yes, it's Gelsenkirchen or Schalke as we otherwise know them as. But he kicked off saying, I said, well, if they're coming for a bid, I'll let you go. Just to try and smooth them over and hopefully they won't come in for a bid. Hopefully by then I can give him a contract at the end of the season. And no, he said, no, I want you to offer us out. Bollocks, I'm not offering you out, you twat. So, yeah, Everton never came in, but they were still unhappy, and Gelsenkirchen came in with a bid. It had a minimum fee release clause, 28.5 million. He got about 20% of it. Crystal Palace got about 20% of it, so I actually lost money on him, because we paid out 22 million for him. I think we ended up getting about 18 back. It felt like anyway, after everything. So yeah, that's the story of Moussa Dembele. So other players that have gone, and there's some sad ones that have gone, unfortunately. The first couple out the door, there was Lucas Payson. He was a good player, but he was back up at best. He wasn't going to be anything more than that. So decided to let him go. He went to Reading, who have come up actually into the Premier League. 1.8 million he's gone there for. We let a couple of youngsters go. Ethan Hamilton's gone. Frank Mulhern's gone. Sam Gallagher's gone. 5.25 million. I thought that was a decent fee considering we only paid 775 grand for him. So that was very pleasing. We let some players go on a free. Pocognoli, Murphy, to name like the ones that are most notable. And then moving down, we let Alex Mowatt go. He's gone to Wolfsburg. We've got 7.5 million for him, which I didn't think was a bad fee. And the likelihood is we're not going to face him unless we're very unfortunate and get them in the Europa Cup. We managed to cancel. It wasn't the fact of cancelling. Nantes. I'm going to say it's Nantes came in for Tyra, and I thought, well, his value plummeted to I think it was 1.6 at this point. And they offered 550 grand, rising to 775 grand. I bit the hand off. It was a non-negotiable offer, so we'll let him go. King Odo, I thought he might develop into something. You can see he looks half decent, but he's not going to be Premier League standard. I think the best he could hope for was Championship, so I decided to let him go. Sanderford came in at 325 grand. Kyle Bartley, now this was a tough one, and it's because we've signed someone to basically replace him. I just didn't think he was going to be good enough. Our biggest weakness was defence, clearly. We scored 97 goals, I think it was in the league. Conceded about 69, magic number, something like that. And I just thought we needed improvement. So Aston Villa came in. Well, I offered him out. We put him on the transfer list at first, and I waited till people were wanted. And a few people were. It worked for some of them. Kyle Bartley was one of them, so offered him out and got 5.75 million for him, which I didn't think was a bad fee neither. So raised quite a bit of money from some of the original players in terms of Mowat and Bartley, and even Gallagher, even though he came like after season 1. Jesper Karlsson's gone out on loan again, so has Calvin Phillips, but for a fee. There's a new guy down here that you'll get to see shortly. And then Daniel Bentley finally went as well. He went to Ipswich. They wanted him on loan at first, but I managed to sell him for 1.7 million when I offered him out for about, I think it was 2.4, I want to say. So they offered that, non-negotiable, and I thought, well, he's not going to play, I might as well get the money. So that was it. Moving on to the ins. And the first player to come in, who's already picked up an injury, which is fantastic news, just literally days before the start of the season, Andre Green from Aston Villa. Very nice player, this. I don't know why I'm saying nice, but very good player, looking at it. Very very high potential. Only 2.5 start at the minute, but he's definitely going to be getting plenty of game time, rotating mainly with, well, either side, to be honest with you. I'll show you why in a minute, why I'm saying either side, but it's normally... He's probably going to be on the right, even though he's right-footed. I still think he can do all right, and he has been doing really well in the pre-season. So yeah, he's one to look out for this season. He's cost us 17.5 million. Might seem like a lot, but Brexit came in, and it's just like a soft Brexit where all the players that are already there don't need a work permit, but any players you do need to bring in from now on need a work permit, which is a bit of a pain in the dick. And he's English, so for them now you've got to pay, and that is exactly what I've done. The next player in was a regen, and we have paid quite a lot of money out for him. If I have a look at his history, we've paid out 6.75 million for a youngster who can't even fit into our system. However, I brought him in to play him on the left-hand side. I think he could really do a good job. He's already started to learn it. It's now awkward, but it was ineffectual. And it's more a case of he just looks class, and he had quite a decent amount of teams in for him. And there were like people like Arsenal and I think Chelsea. So I thought, ooh, if he's going to be going there, it must be good. I scouted him, 4.5 star potential. So and look at his attributes. I mean, his passing and vision is really good for an 18-year-old. I mean, he can do a job in centre midfield if we need to. But looking at his attributes, I just think he's pretty well rounded for the like left hand side, inside forward role. His finishing could improve, but he's only 18, so I'd expect that will improve. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Now the next one's a bit of a strange one. We have paid a hell of a lot of money out for this guy, and what it is the reason why I've loaned him out, because he's gone to Stuttgart. Stuttgart are a top team in well, one of the better teams. Well, it's not one of the better teams, but they've got some really good facilities, and I would imagine, you know, I think they said key player or first team player, and they're paying all his wages. So I thought, yeah, I'll let him have a season out on loan, and we'll keep Frowney for another season and see how we get on. It might be a case of I recall him at the January transfer window. We'll have to wait and see. But as you can see here, I mean, I spent a hell of a lot of money on him. We got him in from Montpellier, 17 million. But just look at him. He's just immense. I mean, his mentals are fantastic for someone who's an 18-year-old. You know, crossing dribbling needs some work for a fullback. He can cover at centre back as well if need be. Passing and everything. Just starting stats for me just seem like ridiculously good. I mean, his vision 16, team at 18, determined individual as well, and his physicals, are absolutely out of this world really for an 18-year-old. So, in my opinion, and he's only going to get better and better. So, yeah, get some game time this season and see what happens. And then this guy is one that I had a look just to see if anyone had been relegated, and this is one guy that did come in Levante, player Jefferson Lerma. He flagged up, and he's only cost us 6.5 million, which I think was an absolute steal. I mean, you look at him there, look how well rounded he is. He's very similar to Harry Arter. Maybe not in the vision sense, but he can play either ball winning midfielder or central midfielder really, really well. I mean, they're all equal. It's mainly a box-to-box, but it was more like the fitness side of it, his work rate, his mentals are really, really good as well. So, and already, I know it's only pre-season friendlies, but he's really shined quite brightly, to be fair, in that ball-winning midfielder role. Then the defender that came in to replace Bartley, he's actually dropped down in current ability now. He was meant to be 3.5 star. Well, potential was 3.5 star anyway. And it's Adam Webster from Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town got relegated. He had a relegation release clause of 7.5 million. I'll show you now. There it is. And as you can see, he's not amazing. He's a quick centre back though, which I thought was pretty handy. Because you think if we play against someone who's quick, we could put him up against him. And yeah, just well-rounded. I think decisions lets him down slightly, so does concentration. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy to have him in, and a fairly cheap option for a third choice centre back. And then finally, because we lost Dembele, I needed a replacement. I couldn't rely on the ones we had really on their own. Some of them have got a lot of promise, like Knox, and I'll show you how he's doing shortly. But Alexander Isaac here, PSV, had a minimum fee release clause of 11.5 million. And bear in mind, we just sold Dembele for like more than double that. I thought, well, he's going to be worth a punt. It says he's a wonder kid. And it's already 3.5 stars, so he's a little bit less than Dembele, but Dembele started at 3.5 star. And he's got potentially 4.5 star potential ability. And that I've heard about this guy before in the past. And, he just fits the bill. He's 6'3". He's an animal because he's strong. Needs to work on his heading a little bit and probably some of his finishing as well. And he's a complete forward, which is exactly what I was looking for. So 19 years old, a lot of time ahead of him, and he does have a minimum fee release clause of 38 million. So we'll get a hell of a lot more than what we got for Dembele in terms of the difference. And that was it for the transfers. We spent, bear in mind that the camera's in the way here, so just bear with us, 67 million. And we recouped 54 million. As a result, we have 17.5 million, call it, left to spend, and like nearly 300 grand on wages. So there's a few things I need to ask you guys now. A couple of players I'm looking at is Yuri Tielemans. Let me just find him. Yuri Tielemans here. Now, is this guy worth getting? At one point, Arta had a wanted sign outside of him, and this is what made me start looking for midfielders. From Man City, it was. Now, I like this guy, but the one thing that does put me off is that central midfielder. Right, it's not a full pie chart. It's not for me close. Close is like deep line playmaker. I play with central midfielder and a ball winning midfielder. He's never going to be a ball winning midfielder with tackling 9, so he's only going to be playing the one position. Or do you sign him and retrain him to one of the wings? His right foot's probably this side, but I've already got someone doing that who could be really, really good. It's going to cost between 18.75 million and 25.5 million, and going to cost roughly, I'd say, about 75 grand a week on wages. And he looks shit hot, don't get me wrong, but his work rate worries me. And if he's going to be playing at Middle Park, that does worry me massively. So let us know what you think. Is he worth signing? Because other news, I'll just show you now the squad. Injuries galore. I'm just going to have to move the camera up, sorry, here. There we go. We've got Father Gabriel's injured for 6 to 8 weeks. He picked up a 2 to 3 month injury. Dallas picked up an injury, 4 to 5 months, cruciate, damaged Achilles tendon. So he's going to be out for ages, and probably, to be honest with you, he probably won't make it back now. I was thinking of selling him, and that's pretty much confirmed it. When he's not, well, when January comes around, he'll probably be just about ready to sell. Oops. But looking at a few other players, I mean, this is probably going to be the starting lineup when you see it. We've got Matthew Knox here, who does look very handy, it has to be said, but he's still not a complete forward. It's not allowing it to be a complete. It's got like a 2 pieces of pie chart. So, but yeah, Manquillo picked up an injury as well recently for 2 weeks, so that's nothing major. But yes, that is what's to expect basically. You're going to get injuries here and there. There's other players like Issa Diop. Composure's only 10. Is that going to matter? His pace is only 11 and 12. Well, acceleration and pace. Is that going to be any good? And it's just like, I don't know what to do, because there's some defenders that look half decent, but they've got a weakness. So yeah, let us know in the comments below if you know of any central defenders. But the midfielder I was looking for, Victor Wanyama. I can be getting for about 28 million, I think it is. Very strong, of course. 28-year-old though now. So looking at the standings for the predictions, if you like, we're predicted to finish 12th this season. So it's a bit of an improvement from last season. We are, of course, in the Europa League, along with West Ham and Chelsea, and any of the others that finished third in the group stages of the Champions League, of course. But like I said, it's going to be a tough season. We've lost Dembele as key man, basically our best player, which is a massive loss. Let's hope that Isaac can jump in and fill the void that's been left. Now, just a quick look into the friendlies. And played my 2 local sides first, and then we played I just called it a UK Cup, couldn't think of a name, between Everton, Leicester and Tottenham. We did see us finish in second place because Tottenham beat us by a point. But yeah, some good results there, a lot of goals as well. And then we played Eastleigh, obviously my FM17 side, beat them 3-1, beat Burnley 3-0. Red Bull Salzburg were 6-1 up at half time with this B team, ended up winning 6-2 in the end. Atletico Madrid came to town, and we beat them 3-1, and that was very nice. River 6-0, Boca 4-0, and Atletico Bilbao 3-1. So very confident going into the season. Hopefully we can take that confidence into the league and starting with Everton today. So Everton, I've got Mick McCarthy as manager, and he is pretty much bang average for this league. He's not a top manager. He's a great manager in the Championship. It's like the master of the yo-yo club, if you like. Well, he usually is. But yeah, he's a Yorkshire lad as well. I said lad, he's like twice my age nearly. But yeah, he's not going to let us win easy, even though he's a Leeds fan. Captain is Funes Mori, who, when he first came on the scene, he didn't look that good, but looking at this game, he looks shit up now. I mean, his only weakness, he's got one weakness. He's got 2 weaknesses: concentration and decisions. But everything else looks bob on, if you ask me. And the vice captain and key player is Romelu Lukaku. Everyone knows about this guy. Tank. Enough said. So the team for today's game is going to be Timo Horn in goal with Ferrani at right back, Angelino at left back, with Ongwene and Big Ken in the middle of defence. We've got new boy Lerma in the ball in the midfielder role alongside Arta. Pereira on the right, Delafeu on the left, Clough and Isaac up top. Isaac making his debut, of course. 2 debutants today. The tactic isn't 100% familiar, but it's quite high. That's why I do so many friendlies. Brickut's missing because of suspension from last season, and Manquillo got injured for like 2 weeks recently, and that was a bit of a pain in the dick. So yeah, hopefully we're going to get a decent performance. Got a couple of young players on the bench, it seems, but we're just got to get into them, haven't we? So come on, boys. Today's game is brought to you live from Ellen Road. It's Leeds United FC against Everton FC. Right, so for this game, we are actually massive underdogs for some reason. I don't know why. They've got Everton as massive favourites. We just beat them in the friendly. I mean, I know it's not really a massive bearing. But it's largely the same team. But we did get we had the double done over us by Everton last season, so I'm going to say revenge is a dish best served cold. A lot of people motivated. Just quickly fill this in with some calmness and faith, and that's a little bit better reading. Let's get into the game. Let's get some revenge. Let's kick some ass. Let's get this season off to a flyer. Right, so the teams line up alongside each other, like they're going to sing the national anthem, or not. I mean, really, I think they should show them walking across, like shaking hands and stuff. So, and if there's any feuds like that, they can not shake hands and it can put a little bit of an edge onto the game. Right, early-ish highlight. It's going to be on key highlights for today's game because of the transfers and everything. Here's Isaac, new boy, to another new boy, Lerma. Isaac again. Is it off to Arta? What can he do? He finds Delafeu. Isaac smashes it from distance. It's in for Audi. Go on, lads. I don't think he scored at all last season. And he's got one now. But Isaac smashing it into someone's face. Let's have a look at that again. Arta here. Nice little pass to Delafeu. First time ball. Isaac smashes it. Yeah, headed away. And Brown into the far post. Gotta say, poor goalkeeper in my opinion. Great start. Right, there's a highlight for Everton. It seems here. Cavallero's joined from Wolves, of course. And I said Hull for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Coney on the ball is one defender I looked at, but he's got some weakness as well. But here's Garner. Lukaku, he's had a similar sort of effort to what Isaac had, but it's deflected and it fell to the guy in the blue shirt, but Timo Horn equal to it. So, it's another highlight. Just realised that the camera's not quite straight. Sorry about that. Acerbi is another player I looked at, but he's about 31 now, so I decided against him. Pereira steps inside. Lerma finds Arta. Chips it over towards Isaac, who tries to win the header but doesn't. Fred is on it now. Artem with a good tackle on Delafeu. What can he do? He knocks it across. It's a poor ball to Sessegnon, who looks like he's joined from Fulham. Delafeu, Clough. It's cleared away, but now it's Arter. Down the line to Angelino. What can he do? He plays it square to Lerma. Been really good in pre-season. Now it's Isaac again. Pereira finds Frowney. Cross it in, mate. He's had a go again, and he's put it wide. I felt sure I'm going to cut it back. Right, Coney has a free kick, kicks it towards Lukaku. Should win that header, but it doesn't. Fred being forced back, all the way back, in fact, to Fraser Forster, who was a very good goalkeeper in my opinion. Probably when Joe Hart were going through his sticky patch, I think Fraser Forster should have been playing ahead of him. For England, that is. Isaac gives it away to Coleman. A long ball by Arter, though, towards Pereira, who is quite tall and wins the header, not once but twice, 3 times the lady. Now it's Lerma. Squares it to Arter. Plays it through for Clough. It's a bit of ping ball wizard in there. Pereira. Isaac! Smashes it in. What's the keeper doing? He just went. It's gone past. And I've just nearly lost my chair. God knows. God knows I want to break free. But Pereira, that's at a 1-2 and then. Saturday nights, you know I love the way you move. That's what apparently the keeper's into. Is it Robles still? Robles cop. No, it's Fraser Forster, of course, what I'm on about. So half-time has come, and I'm going to say we might be winning, but it could also still change if the performance levels Performance levels drop. Don't let that happen. Focus is gained. Fantastic. Delafeu's had a bit of a poor game. I'm just going to tell him I've got some faith. He's not bothered. Right, so we get the second half back underway, going from right to left. Isaac has it. It's early chance, of course. It's probably just a false highlight, and I'm going to be talking like a bell end because nothing really happens. Apart from last season where we had a lot of goals that happened, and there could be one here. Delafeu's forced wide. Comes to Arter. It's a shot. It's gone wide, so maybe I'm not a bell end. Some people may disagree. Right, Coney has an early free kick in the second half. Obiang finds Cavallero, who, if you remember last year on last year's FM, his name was in capitals, and I couldn't help but shout, like I'm going to shout at Horn for not saving that, Cavallero! Because it was in capitals. Shocking this. I mean, Angelino done easily by Cavallero, and he squares it in, right into the danger zone. It's taken a deflection in fairness, that's why Horn hasn't saved it. It's hit on Gwenny and gone in. Come on now, boys, let's not let this slip. Clough finds Delafeu, square to Arter, come and hit back instantly. Lerma strikes it well! What a goal from the debutant! And that is what he's capable of. What a player. Honestly, 6.5 million, I couldn't believe my luck. I thought, bloody hell, he looks handy really, this guy. A little bit of room for growth as well. He's 24 years old. I think he turns 25 in... Oh, it's taking a massive deflection. That's why. Calm your passions, G. It's not that good. Right, it's a corner. Pereira swings it in. And Gwenny flicks it across. Big Ken has hit the post. I think he hit the post. He must have hit the man on the line. Bastard. Pereira whips in another corner. It's clear away. Delafeu to Isaac. It's in. How often does that happen? Where you get two corners one after the other. First one, usually first one goes. That's it. The chance gone. Arter getting his first goal of the season. At this rate, I might be able to bring on some of the youngsters. Pereira whips in the ball. It's cleared away. Delafeu, nice little nod down for Isaac, who like, well, what happens there? It looks to me like he hits the defender again, number 5 again. Sessegnon has it on the left-hand side. He gets by and whips it in. Benedeshi is trying to get there. Obiang smashes it into the top corner, and this is a bit of a stupid scoreline, really, isn't it? First game of the season. Doesn't show any improvement in our defence, but to be fair, we haven't got any improvement in our defence at this moment in time because the only one we've improved is our backup one. That's what I was looking for in terms of transfers. If you've got any ideas for centre-backs that are actually decent, then do let us know. Right, so I made 2 changes. A couple of youngsters coming on, probably kiss of death like that. Anthony Green is going to come on for Jefferson Lerma, who's had a really good game. He's been booked, so I'm just using a bit of caution and taking him off. Matthew Knox is going to come on for Clough. Isaac's going to come across to the false 9 role, and let's see how he gets on. Right, instant highlight. I don't think the changes have happened yet. Frowney finds Pereira. Yeah, they definitely haven't because Isaac's in the complete forward role. And there's a Lerma, of course. It's headed away. Comes out to Arter. Forward to Clough. Watch him get a goal now. It happens quite regularly. Delafeu gets former club, of course. Just realised it's wide. There's been an injury. It's on Gwenny, our best defender. Fantastic. Neck injury, apparently. It's up. It's nothing too serious. Adewesa comes on for his debut. Hopefully he can see out the rest of this game. Because, well, it'd be a massive result for us if we can. Bernadeschi with a free kick. He's hit the bar. Slash post, a corner point. Free kick for us, Delafeu. Oh, nearly scores against his former club. It's the post. Right. Looks like end of game highlights. So it looks like a nice, decent 4-2 victory to start the campaign. Unless Preyer's just going to casually drop back into his own net. Largely a dominant performance. 61% possession. And more than twice as many shots. So I'm quite happy with that. That's fantastic. So I'm just going to tell them that. Well done, lads. Good win for us. And that's fantastic. Yeah, we're 5th at the minute. Obviously, it's not going to stay like that, but continuing where we left off, I suppose you could say. All the 4 big boys are up there at the minute. Well, 4 of the big boys, should I say. Even Tottenham are on 3 points as well. So the only team that's not doing very well is Chelsea. But yeah. So coming back for the next game, I think it's got to be a European Cup tie, isn't it, really? So we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll play Chelsea, Stoke, Palace and West Ham off camera. Come back for Euro Cup and let's see how we get on against them. So hopefully I have enjoyed this video. If you have, why not press that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Trying a few things in regards not doing as much editing because of obviously I'm going to become a dad shortly, so I need to try and adjust to make it easier for us to record and try and be more consistent. Hopefully it's not what turned out to be too poor in terms of like little differences to what you're probably normally accustomed to. But yeah, hopefully you can join us for the next one against the unknown opponent in the Europa Cup. Yeah, I hope you can join us for that. Until then, I'll see you then. Bye bye.